hearing about two more gruesome cases this week of cannibalistic behavior linked to dangerous drugs known as bath salts. Now, Florida police say this 21-year-old man, Brandon DeLeon, tried to bite an officer in a drug-fueled rage. Here's what he told the judge.
Say something, Your Honor. I have no recollection of anything that happened that night.
Police say DeLeon was on a cocktail of drugs that included something similar to bath salts. In Louisiana, police say that this man bit a chunk out of another man's face. His friend told police she thought he was on bath salts. There's a string of eerily similar attacks following the one that captured everyone's attention, the horrific assault in Florida last month when a man chewed off the face of a homeless man. Police say he was high, possibly, on bath salts. And now, the Marine Corps Times is reporting the use of bath salts is a growing problem among members of the American military. Up front tonight to talk about it all is HLN's Dr. Drew Pinsky. And Dr. Drew, good to see you. I mean, this is just truly bizarre. I mean, we're hearing about a few cases here that we're pulling together. I mean, what kind of word would we use for this? Is this an epidemic? How common is this?
It's becoming increasingly common. I think what's motivating it more than anything else, the people that use these substances use them to get around urine toxicology screenings. That's really what's motivating it. So environments such as the military, where people can get in big trouble for using substances, people who have employers who check their urine, these are environments where someone is likely to go to the smoke shops and buy spice or bath salts. It's so easy to get in this state, in California, Aaron. I walked up the street and bought bath salts. It's a couple hundred yards from here. I can get bath salts and spice. My staff did it,
wow.
And I thought, wow, I want to see how easy that is. And it was, you walk in, you show your ID, make sure you're over 18, and they hand you the bath salts. But I want to emphasize to people that there's nothing about baths or salts involved in these substances. This isn't Calgon. This is a drug that is designed to get people high and not be detected in the urine toxicology screen.
So let me ask you about, first of all, there's what the active ingredient is. I think you'd said it's MDVP. I mean, what is that, and why does that cause, or in your view, would that cause things like this cannibalistic behavior that we now have seen many examples of?
Right. The MDPV is methylene dioxypyrovalerone. There's also ephedrone. And make no mistake, the reason these things are so difficult to regulate is that people that manufacture these things add a methyl group or change the molecule slightly so it becomes impossible to regulate and outlaw. Exactly how this affects the brain, we don't even know yet, but we certainly know the consequences. It's basically to help people understand the effects. It's like adding LSD to PCP to methamphetamine. Those are sort of the effects we're seeing. They're rapidly addictive. They cause an excited delirium where people have no insight to what they're doing. They're disconnected from reality, and they become violent. This more recent rash of cannibalistic behaviors, this sort of oral aggression we're seeing, may be something related to this increasing epidemic of bath salts, or perhaps the reason we're hearing about this more now, perhaps they've changed the molecule slightly, that it has caused this characteristic behavior. Whatever it is, it's dangerous. People don't know they're doing it. They have no insight, and it is bizarre and violent.
And why isn't there a drug test available for this at this point?
Primarily, it's that we can't keep up with it. The same reason they can't be regulated. They're changing the molecule ever so slightly all the time to be sure that it can't be detected and to be sure that we can't get on top of it and regulate it. So it is something that people that produce these things and use it know is the goal, the end game here is to prevent from detection.
So when we hear about this in the military, and I know obviously that you were indicating, look, if you can't detect it, that would be why the military would be a group that could be susceptible.
Right.
But how common do you think this is in the military? I mean, I'm just thinking, and there is zero link to this, so I just want to throw it out there, everyone. I'm just saying, it just makes me think of that case of that sergeant in Afghanistan who went and killed 16 people. I mean, what sort of risks are we running?
Right. Anytime you hear somebody, now again, I know of no such link either, and I want to state that clearly, but whenever you see stories of bizarre behavior that are bloody and violent, think about these substances. And if now we're hearing almost always when somebody is involved in biting and chewing and bizarre sort of oral aggression, it seems like it figures into almost every one of those stories. So yes, it's appropriate to be thinking of these things. I don't know it to be a significant problem in the military. I just know whenever people are trying to get away with substance use, you find spice, you find bath salts.
All right. Well, Dr. Drew, thank you very much.